Smart Assistant. The Smart Assistant is your best ally when it comes to anticipating your mistakes and correcting them. It automatically detects and autocorrects any possible typos you may make while writing. You can decide which categories you want to enable and receive alerts or icons while editing your segments. You can even activate the autocorrect option so that some of the problems are fixed directly by the system without you having to worry. You can configure your assistant to search for extra or double punctuation or even spacing issues. Open the configuration menu by clicking on the arrow next to Smart Assistant. The checked items on the list are enabled and will be flagged by the Smart Assistant. All QA criteria are enabled by default. Each of these categories will check the translations for specific types of common errors. For example, word repetitions will check for words that appear twice in a row within the same segment. The Smart Assistant will also check for errors in punctuation. There are options for both double and missing punctuation. There are also options for spacing mistakes, including double or leading spaces. Once again, the blue check mark indicates that these settings are enabled. To enable a category, simply click next to the name and a blue check mark will appear. To disable a category, click on the blue check mark and it will no longer be checked by the Smart Assistant. You can enable and disable these categories as often as you see fit, depending on the type of translation and your working preferences. The Smart Assistant can run any and all of these categories at once, helping you identify mistakes as you go. Once you are finished setting your preferences, simply click outside the menu to close it. There is no need to save any changes as this is a working set of preferences rather than a profile. Let's look at how the Smart Assistant indicates that a segment has an issue. Remember to enable the Smart Assistant in the Smart Tools toolbar. Green means that the Smart Tool is enabled and red is disabled. As you can see, in the bottom right corner of our segment, we have a red icon. If you click on this icon, you will see a list of errors detected by the Smart Assistant. The first error shown is an extra space before a punctuation mark. As we can see in the segment text, there is an extra space before the colon. We can either delete it manually or go back into the error list and click on the error to have the system automatically correct it. The Smart Assistant detected a second issue as well. We've inadvertently written lyric twice. Again, we can either delete it ourselves or we can have the system do it. Once the issue has been cleared, the warning icon will also disappear. The Smart Assistant can also detect and correct errors as you work. At the top of the Smart Assistant's Preference menu is the Autocorrect option. Click it to open a window where you can enable autocorrect and select its settings. Select your autocorrect preferences by simply checking the corresponding boxes. You can choose as many or as few as you wish. In order for the system to know the punctuation rules, please do not forget to select the correct language at the top of the page. Another helpful feature of the Smart Assistant's autocorrect is the replace features. You can, for example, select replace double quotes, which are very typical in English, and replace them with the German version. This way, every time you type a quote mark using a QWERTY keyboard, the system will automatically replace it with its German counterpart. You can also make the same type of configurations for other punctuation marks, such as the inverted question mark in Spanish. You can also set up automatic word replacements. You will first need to add the trigger word into the system by clicking on Add Term. Let's take a look at how the autocorrect functions with just two options enabled, the correct initial capitals and replace double quotes. Once you have set your preferences, click Confirm to return to the working space. Remember to make sure that the Smart Assistant is enabled before you start your work. Let's see what will happen if we start to edit a segment with our new autocorrect settings. As we now type a double quote, it is automatically replaced with the German open quote. The Smart Assistant's autocorrect feature allows you to concentrate on your translation without having to worry about a stray space or mark of punctuation. The options available in the Smart Assistant are also part of your QA profile, so that there is no way you miss any of the relevant information.